Hello, my name is Roel. I'm a health and nutrition coach, and I post these videos just to motivate you to be the healthiest version of you. Sorry for sounding a little bit nasal. I've got a little bit of a blocked nose. I hope it doesn't put you off. And today I want to talk about obstacles, in particular obstacles when it comes to living a healthy lifestyle, which I think we all know is a bit challenging sometimes. Often the things we like doing are not that good for us in terms of health, and the things that we don't fancy doing are really good for us. So what I want to say first is it's really important that you don't let yourself be paralysed by these obstacles, which can be easily done. If something's stopping you or making it difficult for you to do what you feel that you need to do, then often it can stop you from doing something altogether, and that's a shame, because even if you would manage to do small things, that can make a big difference. And it may not seem like that to start with because they're small things, so the impact is not going to be that big. But in the long run, you will create some consistency with these small changes. And so in that sense, it is very helpful. And also it gives you a bit of a ripple effect. If you do something, at least do something, it often makes you do other things as well. And it's so much better than being in that position where you're sort of a bit paralysed and you're not doing anything, but one day you'll get your shit together and you do it. But in the meantime, of course, nothing's happening and you're not getting any results. So I think that is the most important thing, is to do something. Don't let it stop you. Yes, we all have obstacles in one way, one shape or another. And that's okay. Just do the best you can and see what you can do. Don't focus on these obstacles. Don't focus too much on what stops you from doing what you need to do. Focus on what you can do, no matter what that is, because it's always going to be good. So I've got a few common examples of obstacles and some solutions, but obviously I want to keep these videos short, otherwise you bore off, and I don't want that to happen. So I'll give you some examples, I'll give you some solutions. They may not apply to you, and you might listen to it and think, well, that wouldn't work for me, and that's to be expected, because we're all different. But just to spend a little bit of time thinking about what your obstacles are, and even listening to solutions that are not for you, might actually make you think of something that might work for you. So in that sense, I think it can still be helpful. I am going to do a webinar next week on the 1st of August 2024. Obviously, I don't know when you watch this video. You might be watching this in 2030. If you watch this before the 1st of August, Thursday, 8 o'clock in the evening for 1 hour, and that's British time, British summer time, where I can have a little bit more time to go into some examples in more detail, and also you'll have an opportunity then to discuss your obstacles should you want to. By the way, if you want to do that anyway, you can always contact me via the website for a chat. So let's have some examples of common obstacles. The one I hear a lot, which is actually the easiest one to overcome, is no time. I'm so busy, I haven't got time to eat healthily or cook from scratch or exercise. And I'm not saying that that's an excuse, and you do have time. I do know that a lot of people are that busy that they can't cook from scratch or join a gym or a fitness class, and I get that. But what you need to do is think about, what can you do? Because even the little things, like I said, are going to make a difference, and you can sneak stuff in. So especially physical activity is very easy to sneak that into your daily life, and it might not be the same as going to the gym, but I reckon you could even do more if you sneak it in than what anyone does in 45 minutes in a gym. By the way, when I'm in a gym, most people spend more time looking at their phone in between exercises than actually doing exercises. But that may not be you. I'm not dissing the gym, and I go myself. But yeah, don't underestimate how much you can sneak in, even if you're too busy to join something. And when it comes to food, often it's just a matter of organisation and planning, which sounds super boring, and maybe it is, but it's also super effective. And once you know how to do that, then you have big results with that, even if you don't have time. In fact, you could be even more organised than somebody who doesn't have half as much to do as you. So that's something that I think is fairly easily, very easy to overcome. Then another common one would be physical limitations, and of course that's a real obstacle. If you have health issues, injuries, pain, disabilities, then it might make it difficult to do the stuff that other people are doing. But guess what? You don't have to do what other people are doing. You just need to do what you can do. And again, it's just that sort of shifting that focus from what you can't do to what you can do. And even if you can only do the smallest movements when it comes to physical activity, or make the smallest changes, for example, if you have massive digestive issues, then you might be listening to dietary advice, and half of the stuff is not applicable to you because you can't live like that with the limitations that you have. So pick up what you can do, focus on that, and build it from there, and then you still will get results that are worthwhile. Money, that's another thing that people sometimes mention. Oh, I don't have money to eat healthily or go to the gym. And yeah, that might be the case. And I'm not with any of these obstacles. I'm not treating them as excuses. And like you know, these things are true obstacles. But I think when it comes to money, it is very possible to make some healthy choices that don't cost any money. And yes, you may have to prioritize and pick the ones that are most important for you right now and start there, because you don't have the money to do the other ones. But I would most of all say focus on the ones that do not cost any money, and I'm pretty convinced that you can get amazing results just by doing that. Lack of motivation, that's another one. Like, I can't get myself motivated to do it. I know I should be doing it, but I just can't. Or I can for a little bit, and then I lose interest because it's so hard, and I don't really, I can't really motivate myself. Now that is an obstacle, and that's a bit more challenging because now we're talking about your inner workings, and that's always more challenging than the practical stuff. So when it comes to motivation, you need to tap into your intrinsic motivations, and you need to ask yourself, what's in it for me? What do I get from doing this? Or what do I get from stop doing this? And then you need to relate that to your own life and not keep that general. So instead of saying, well, I need to eat healthy because then I won't get diabetes, or I won't get heart disease, or that's general, that's true, but it's general. What would that mean to you? What would that mean for your life? What would you not be able to do if you got diabetes or heart disease? Think about the things that you love doing. Would you still be able to do those, or would you still enjoy doing those if you had these issues that come from living an unhealthy life? And maybe you could even do a pretend diary entry. Do two. Do one for in a year's time, if you've made all the changes that you can make to be as healthy as you can be, what would a day in your life look like? When you wake up, how would you feel? What would you look forward to doing that day? Who would you be with? And use a lot of detail. And then do the same diary entry for what your life would look like if you didn't take action and things just went from bad to worse, and you got ill and you're on medication and you're constantly in and out of the surgery and in pain and feeling miserable about that. What would your day look like then? And just to visualize that and relate that to your life, that's quite strong. That's your intrinsic motivation, and that can really help to stick with the things that you want to stick to. Information overload is another one. You just want to do something, but Jesus, the information is just out of control. I don't know what to do. You're saying this, you're saying that. What do I need to do? Where do I even start? I've got to think about my diet. I've got to think about my physical activity, my sleep, my stress management, and that sort of puts you off doing anything because you're overwhelmed. Again, it's a case of prioritizing. What do you need to do first? What do you need to do most? And simplify things. I'm a massive fan of simplifying things, and I have done other videos about that as well, but it's very easy to simplify a diet approach, a physical activity approach, a stress management approach. And so simplifying is important, and prioritizing when it comes to overwhelm. Social pressure can be a big one. In my experience, a lot of people feel under a lot of pressure to eat certain foods, do certain things, or not do certain things. And often I find that it's assumed pressure, that people think that other people feel that they need to act in a certain way, but when it comes to it, that's not actually the case. So please don't assume that people are going to think you're this or that if you don't want to join in with what they're doing. You don't know that. Maybe they will. I know that there are people who do that, but the people you hang out with may not be like that. Check it out. Maybe they're not even feeling like that, and you just put that pressure on yourself. That often happens. So that's another thing to consider. And then regardless of what they're thinking, you can start taking control of the things that are within your control. So if you're socializing with people, do you have a say in what you're doing? Do you have to go to this place where they only sell burgers and booze and stuff that's not good for you? Or can you have a say no matter where you're going and choose something that has some stuff that you can choose that fits in with your health goals? Or could you do an activity instead of go out for food and drinks? Could you, if it's at somebody's house, could you offer to bring something that suits you? So take control of what you can take control of, and don't just feel that you have to go with what everybody else is doing. And then the second thing I would say about that is communication. Sometimes people don't realise what you're trying to do and why you want to do that. And once they do, they're quite happy for you to do what you need to do. So make sure that you let other people know why it is important to you to eat healthily or do certain activities or not do other activities. And you may find that they actually understand once you've communicated that to them, and then they'll be supportive as well. And that will really help you. Last one I want to mention is a massive one. And again, none of this stuff is easy. But like I said at the beginning, it's just do something, have that awareness and crack on with something, and you'll find that it will have a snowball effect. Emotional eating, that's a big one, and it's so hard to overcome. And I will go a little bit more into this in the webinar, of course, but for now, all I want to say about it is have that awareness that you're eating not because you're physically hungry or for pleasure. Obviously, we can also just eat for pleasure. But you're actually eating for another reason, to sort something out that is not actually sorted out with food. And create that awareness first. That's the most important thing. Maybe do a food diary and add a column where you say, why did you have what you were having? Was it hunger, or was it pleasure, or was it because you were actually feeling stressed or lonely or bored? And that is the first step to analyse what else you can do instead to feel better. That doesn't involve food or drink or any other unhealthy activities. By the way, I'm not saying food and health are unhealthy, but if you're eating it for the wrong reasons, and when we're stressed or bored, we tend to grab the foods that are not the most healthy foods because we want that instant dopamine fix as well. And think about alternative strategies. What else can you do? And once you start doing those and you find that they actually are more effective, it'll become easier. But like I said, it's a big topic, and there's a lot of underlying stuff going on there as well, that you can look into, some maybe issues from the past, associations, very strong associations that are created very early in life with emotions. So yeah, big topic, but it always starts with awareness. So I hope you found this interesting, and did it resonate with you? Do you have any obstacles? Do you have any solutions? Feel free to put it in the comments below, and feel welcome to join my free webinar. I will put the link to register below this video, and don't forget to set yourself one little goal this week that's going to help you to be a healthier version of you. One little thing. What is the one thing that you can do this week with everything else that's going on in your life that's going to make you feel better and maybe even healthier? and just focus on that one thing for 1 week only, and then review it next week. Don't set yourself a goal for the rest of your life or till Christmas, although that's coming up very soon now. I'm a little bit worried that we're just hurtling through the year. But one little thing, let me know what it is that you're doing this week to be as healthy as you can be. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Love you lots. Bye.